Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to this beautiful campus, this beautiful building, and this beautiful day. My name is Dr. Rich Ogle, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs here at Stanislaus State. We thank you for joining us for the dedication of Willow Hall here at Stan State Stockton campus. We're honored to have our community partners, our students, our faculty, our staff, and our friends with us today. Let's give everybody a round of applause. In the spirit of gratitude, community, and respect, we begin by honoring the land that holds us and the original stewards whose presence and legacy continue to guide us. We want to formally and with great respect acknowledge we are on the traditional lands of the Yokits Nation. Our campus, Stanislaus State, is built on the unceded ancestral lands of these indigenous tribes. Thank you for letting us honor them and give our thanks to their ancestors and descendants for their constant and careful stewardship of this land. It is now my pleasure to welcome the President of Stanislaus State, Dr. Britt Rios Ellis.
Thank you, Rich. Muchísimas gracias. Buenos dias. We are so very excited. I don't know about you, but I couldn't sleep last night. And I have to tell you, I'm not a very good sleeper. I wear one of those rings anyway because I just, you get to my age, you got to pay attention. But this is a dream, and I'm just so grateful to everyone who made it happen. It's a beautiful and empowering day for Stan State, for Stockton, and for the entire northern San Joaquin County. And Joaquin is a really interesting name. Joaquin means hope. And so when people name their child Joaquin, it's about the hope for their families. And I want to think of us as a family, and I want to think that this building, because I know it does, represents hope. To our elected officials, right here, right, and who we know are so excited, our former elected officials and collaborators, representatives of the CSU Office of the Chancellor, our staff, our students, our alumni, our donors, our cherished friends, and our familia, because that's what this is about. Thank you so much for being here. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí hoy con nosotros en un día tan especial. Your presence reflects that a shared belief, a shared investment, and shared responsibility. Today, we're here to celebrate Willow Hall. When I first came on as president, we have some serious challenges, just like all universities do right now in the United States. Ours was especially challenging because we were faced with a $14 million deficit that we had to tackle, and we're still tackling, right? We're still working on it. And when we saw this potential, and in my conversations with Sarah, I said, we really gotta go here. We've gotta do something. So I don't know who knows it, but I'm a former special government employee for the NIH, for the CDC, for HRSA, and SAMHSA. So I know underserved areas. That was the life of my entire career, was community health and underserved areas. When I looked at the data that represent this region, we have a space here, and we've got to do the right thing. And this is all about doing the right thing. So in going to Rose and saying, I know that we have to, Rose is our CFO right back there, I know we have to correct this, but guess what? We need to find another couple $1 million. Don't worry, we will bring it back. We will bring it home if we just do the right thing. We found it, and we did the right thing. And what you're about to see today is just absolutely remarkable. Willow Hall is so much more than steel and glass. It's more than classrooms and labs. It is a promise, and it's our promise to this community. It's a promise that access to high-quality public education begins right here in Stockton. We are the only university in San Joaquin County offering accessible, affordable, higher education to one of the fastest-growing counties in the state of California. It's time, and the time is today. It's a promise that our students deserve world-class facilities and programs. It's a promise that when Stan State thrives, the Central Valley thrives. And the name Willow Hall carries deep meaning. The willow tree has long been recognized for its healing properties and its role in sustaining the San Joaquin Delta. It stabilizes its environment just as this building will help stabilize and sustain the human ecosystem of this region. Willow Hall represents restoration and social justice and care rooted in community. This building stands as a symbol of hope and also urgency. Urgency because the needs are so great. Hope because the talent of our students and our alumni is so very extraordinary. Willow Hall reflects institutional commitment, regional partnership, and a deep belief that Stockton is central to California's future. Across northern San Joaquin Valley, we face profound health disparities, social vulnerability, and workforce shortages. Many of our communities, in fact, almost all of them, are medically underserved. Families experience long wait times for care, limited access to providers, and ongoing challenges tied to chronic disease and economic instability. And what we know is when that happens, people turn to emergency rooms. They don't develop the relationships they need to with their providers. And we are about training those providers so everyone in this county can access that relationship they need. The majority of our students come from the very counties that are experiencing these challenges. At Stanislaus State, we believe in a simple but transformative model. Grow local, train local, and stay local. Our students are first generation, bilingual, bicultural, and deeply connected to their families and their communities. And research tells us something powerful. When students train in the communities they call home, they are far more likely to remain and to serve there. This is why Willow Hall is not only an academic building, it is a workforce engine. This space will expand nursing education, strengthen behavioral health training, and support the future development of a Master of Physician Assistant Sciences program to directly address the primary care shortages in our region. This is not simply an academic initiative. It is a public health intervention. And this vision is made possible through partnership. We are so grateful. You remember when I had that difficult conversation with Rose and I said we need an extra couple millions even though we've got this problem up here, right? And in this economic downturn that we're facing. We found the partners, and we are so grateful to the Health Plan of San Joaquin for their transformative $2.5 million investment to, yes, absolutely, to establish the Health Plan of San Joaquin Health and Human Services Training Center here right at Willow Hall. So Rose, even though we had to ask for and find extra money, we got it back. And because of you, we did. We are also, when we think about this investment, it will support advanced clinical training environments that prepare our students to confidently deliver high quality, compassionate care across the valley. And you know, I always talk about we're going to do everything we do con mucho cariño, right? Because we know that cariño is not just affection. Cariño is commitment, cariño is accountability, and cariño is love and justice. And that's what we're here to do. I want to recognize Dr. Sherry Coburn and her colleagues from the School of Nursing for their leadership in securing this grant, as well as an additional $800,000 grant from HealthNet. Where's HealthNet? Thank you. To support a state-of-the-art, high-fidelity simulation laboratory within this center, right? Our hope is to have fundraisers, and you can come and watch and have a cocktail and donate to the expansion of this and do even more and watch not a real baby, but an artificial baby be born, right? There's all kinds of things we can do. We are profoundly grateful to these partnerships and what they make possible for our students and our communities. Willow Hall strengthens also something so important. How many, well, you don't have to confess, so no one has to raise their hands, but we saw a lot of burnout during the pandemic, right? Individual physicians, social workers, nurses, people just burned out and left their professions forever. And one of the ways to alleviate burnout and to make sure people are really satisfied in their careers and to provide even better, more high-quality care is to train people interprofessionally. This space will do that. So when we bring together nursing, behavioral health, kinesiology, social work, and a future physician assistant students in shared clinical environments, this makes them able to know what to do next and who to refer problems to before they become big, big insurmountable problems, as we saw in the pandemic. Because the future of healthcare is team-based, culturally and linguistically responsive care is grounded in community. So let us remember that workforce development is also, it starts with an E. Can anyone fill in the word? It's got a bunch of syllables. It starts with an E, then it goes to C and an O. Come on, I've given it away. Economic, right? Workforce development is economic development. You can see I'm still a professor at heart. We'll give you a test, right? When we prepare clinicians, we create pathways to stable, high-wage careers. We strengthen local systems of care. We improve outcomes, not just for individuals, but for families across generations. And that is the power of public higher education. As a Hispanic-serving institution and an emerging ANAPISI, which Asian Pacific Islander Native American campus, Stan State is committed to access, belonging, and opportunity. Nearly 70% of our students are first generation, which means the legacy of what can happen in their families is truly remarkable. Many are balancing school, work, and family. So Willow Hall sends a very clear message. You belong in healthcare. You belong in human services. You belong as a leader in your community. You belong in graduate education. None of this happens alone. To our legislative champions, community advocates, and partners, thank you for believing in this vision. I want to extend our immense gratitude, and Paul, I know you're representing today, to our colleagues in capital planning at the Chancellor's office. Also for those last-minute changes that we made, thank you, thank you, thank you. Our partners at University Park, Groupie Huber, and the team at Auto Construction, Allison, we are so grateful. And our LPAS architecture and design firm, thank you. To our faculty and staff, thank you for leading with excellence and cariño. That's a quiz word, so get ready, cariño. Especially our amazing team in the Division of Business and Finance and Capital Planning and Facilities Management. Kat, our IT folks, everyone just really went to bat to bring this online as soon as possible. And our fantastic faculty and staff here at the Stockton campus, led by the insurmountable, incredible Dean Sarah Schweitzer, who Sarah and I share so much background, it is just truly incredible. So we almost don't need to speak to, we can fill in each other's sentences all the time. Thank you. And our Stockton Dean of Students, Amy McKinney. Where's Amy? Where's Amy? There she is. And our Associate Dean, Matthew Derrick. And Matthew was over here. There he is. And there's a really, really big applause that goes out to our students. Will all our students and Stockton alums please raise their hands? This building exists because of you and for you. And there is one thing that I know with certainty. When Stan State thrives, Stockton thrives. And when Stockton thrives, the Central Valley thrives. Willow Hall is not the end of a project, it's just the beginning. So Paul, get ready with your team, just saying. It's the beginning of expanded access, stronger health outcomes, and greater opportunity for this region. It is the pulse of possibility brought to life to facilitate the empowerment of a community that is very under-resourced, no longer. So today, as we dedicate this building and cut this ribbon to officially open its doors, we do so with purpose and with unwavering commitment to the families of Stockton and San Joaquin County. Together, we are advancing health, we are expanding access, and we are transforming the Central Valley. One student, one future, and one community at a time. And we are doing so with cariño. So thank you so much. And before I introduce a true champion who's sitting right in front of me, you might know her as a sourdough friend. I want to also thank President Emerita Ellen Jun and Kathy Hart, who are sitting right here. And again, this is just beautiful. Thank you so much. So I don't know if you follow former Senator Susan Eggman on TikTok. I do. So she has, and you should. Because whenever you're feeling a little blue, there's a space you can go to called Sourdough Friends. How many people are members of Sourdough Friends? Good. Okay, yummy. Yep, absolutely. So whenever I need a moment with Susan, I just plug into one of her TikTok videos, throw out a heart, let you know I'm thinking of you, and the bread also tastes incredible if you ever get the chance to taste it. But she is a true champion of the Central Valley, and her leadership led to this. So you've expanded opportunity and access for so very many in our region, and I just want you to please join me and give a very cariñoso welcome to former Senator Susan Eggman.
Thank you very much, Britt. And great to see everybody out here today. Thank you all very much for taking the time to come out and see the ribbon cutting of this building that has been a dream for a long time, and I think a promise that the state of California made to this community way back in the 1850s when we were chartered, that we would have the same opportunity as everybody else. And for me, this dream started when I was on the city council back in 2006. And we had yet another state prison getting ready to open in our community out to the east, which would have made the fourth one that we had in our county at that time, which is within a stone's throw of City Hall. At the same time, we were facing being called the most miserable city in the world, in the country. At the same time, we had obesity rates, we had illiteracy rates, we had high crime rates going on at that time. And building another prison wasn't the answer. As somebody who's a first-generation college-educated person, I know the path to everything is education. It's learning about what is out there. It is finding ways, finding the opportunity to be able to lift yourself up, to fulfill the promise your parents, your grandparents, the state of California made to us, that if you do your part, it will be there for you. That's how our government is supposed to work. So I made a pledge to my constituents at that time and to everybody else that we're going to have ourselves our own university here. Now, we already had the satellite that at the time was just struggling along. When it first started, there was some commitment, and after that, as people know, there was some hedging and going back, and there was nothing that we could count on for us. And so when I got to the state legislature and I really started saying, like, how do we get a CSU? Helped by Michael Tubbs, helped by Rhodesia Ransom, helped by all these supervisors, by everybody on the council, and this whole community, finally, the way to be able to do it was not our own freestanding one. As you know, they're money tight right now, but what we could do is really do a down payment that serves as the lifetime commitment to this community from the California State University. So that's what this is, friends. My last 2 years, I was able to secure $54 million for a direct appropriation to be able to do this. So this is something that I'm very proud is a result of my legacy, my commitment to Stockton. I promised you one. I didn't get you a whole one, but I got you a big, massive down payment that's never going to go away, and that we can build our future on. We can build on the hope and the promises that we deserve, and that should be there for all of us. Where we know that we lack from education, and we know that we are in a healthcare desert. How do we merge those two things with the brilliance of Sarah and Britt to say, let's make a whole health force training center right here in the Valley where we know the need is, and we know we have the students who will then be able to step into those and transform their lives, their families' lives, and our community's lives with healthcare. That's the whole secret right there. That's it, and I am so glad that you are all here to be able to celebrate what we've been able to accomplish, all of us together. The work is not done. Still plenty of money to earn, still plenty of money to raise, because we would need more things in here to be able to make this truly the state of the art that we need it to be. I want to thank, I see Senator Patrick Johnson here also, Kathy Hart, President Ellen Junn. I was on the phone with her. I got the votes. So we finally were able to land that $54 million, and now a couple of years later, we see the true fruits coming together. So with huge heart, cariños, I say thank you to everybody. Now, let's just, high schools, get your kids here. Parents, get your kids here, and let's do this together as a community. And as a big helper, thank you. As a big helper, I want to introduce next Lizeth Grandios, CEO Health Plan of San Joaquin, to thank her for the opportunity to partner together. It's an honor to be able to celebrate this moment and what it represents for Stockton. You've been a valued partner. I know the partnership will continue. So thank you, Lizeth, and Health Plan of San Joaquin.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. It is truly an honor to celebrate this moment for Stockton and our community. It is now a pleasure to introduce, as we celebrate today's milestone, it's not only a milestone for Cal State Stanislaus, but also the future and the healthcare of the Central Valley. We are proud to partner in not only the investment in various programs like the Community Health Worker Program and the VITA program, but also now brought to fruition Willow Hall. This commitment will fuel the learning, growth, and development of our next generation of healthcare professionals right here in our community. Our contribution reflects the dedication of expanded access to high-quality education in health and human services, and it underscores the promise to help a stronger and more resilient workforce. This project also demonstrates what becomes possible with strong institutions that unite our shared vision for the future. Stanislaus State has long been a place where first-generation students, young learners, and aspiring healthcare professionals can find opportunities and purpose. We know the strong local health system thrives when we can cultivate and develop talent to serve our local community. Together, we strengthen not only our region, but the long-term investments in the healthcare infrastructure as a whole in the Central Valley. We know that our region faces real challenges when it comes to health outcomes and access, but we also know that we have a pool full of talented students that are driven to be able to serve the community. Willow Hall will give them the space and the tools and the opportunities to do just that. When we invest in the education today, we will shape the workforce of tomorrow. The students will walk through the doors and will go through and become nurses, social workers, public health leaders who will impact families and neighborhoods for generations to come. Willow Hall is central to the institution in our region, bringing together educators, students, community partners to drive innovation and expand what is possible in clinics, community as a whole. We will see the workforce that reflects that understands our community that we're serving. We will see that pride of the graduates whose careers will begin here. On behalf of Health Plan of San Joaquin, thank you for allowing us to be partners in something so meaningful. Thank you for the university leadership and everyone who has brought this vision to fruition. Thank you. I want to take this opportunity to introduce Delilah Rice, She is not only embodies the promises of this campus, she is a leader, a graduate student, and a proud representative of Stockton. Please join me in welcoming Delilah Rice.
All right. Hi, everybody. So good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the opening of Willow Hall here at the CSU Stanislaus Stockton campus. My name is Delilah, and I am proud to serve as a ASI Board of Director for the Stockton campus, a Master's of Social Work Stockton representative, and a current MSW graduate student, as well as a former graduate social science major. Thank you so much. Each of these roles reflect not only well as a former undergraduate social science major, but my academic journey, but my deep commitment to the campus and community. This moment is about more than building. It represents opportunities, access, and power of education to transform lives. My educational journey has not always been easy. Like many students in our community, I have to navigate challenges, responsibilities, and moments of uncertainty. But what carried me through was the belief that education could open doors. Not just for me, but for my family and for my community that raised me. Every class, every late night, every obstacle became part of a larger purpose. Having access to public education in Stockton means everything. It means that students do not have to leave behind their roots to chase their dreams. It means that higher education is not reserved for a few. It belongs to all of us. It means that someone sitting in this audience today or walking through these doors tomorrow can see a future that once felt out of reach suddenly become possible. As a Stockton native, staying close to home while pursuing my graduate education as an MSW student has been deeply meaningful. It has allowed me to remain connected to my community, to give back while I grow, and to stay grounded in very place that shaped who I am. There is something powerful about learning and evolving in the community you are committed to serve. Representation and belonging matters. As a social science student and now a Master's of Social Work graduate student, I understand how important it is for students to feel seen. When students walk into a space and see people who look like them, who share similar stories, who have faced similar struggles, it sends a powerful message. You belong here. Spaces like Willow Hall help create that sense of belonging. They remind students that they are not alone and that their voices, identities, and experiences are valued. For me, service to the community is not just a goal, it is my calling. My education is not only for personal achievement, but for collective impact. It is about returning to the community with knowledge, compassion, and commitment to make a difference. It is about lifting others as we climb. And as we open the doors to Willow Hall, I think about the future students who will walk into these halls. They will walk with dreams, with doubts and questions, but also with hope. The building will become a place where they find their confidence, where they build connections, and where they discover who they are and who they want to become. And just importantly, I think about who they will be when they walk out of these doors. They will leave not only with knowledge, but with purpose, ready to serve their families and uplift their communities. They will step forward as leaders, as change makers, and proud representatives of Stockton, carrying with them the belief that their future is not limited by where they come from, but strengthened by it. Willow Hall is more than walls and classrooms. It is a symbol of possibility. It is a reminder that Stockton invest in its people. It is in its students and in the future. Long after today, this space will hold stories of perseverance, achievement, and transformation. Today, we are not just opening a building, but we are opening doors. Thank you. So now I want to introduce the president and CEO of Auto Construction, Allison Otto. It is now my honor to introduce the leader whose team helped bring Willow Hall to life. Building a space where future generation of students will learn, grow, and thrive. Allison, thank you.
Another round of applause for Delilah. On behalf of Auto Construction and our design partner, LPAS, it is my honor to ceremonially transfer the keys of Willow Hall, a space built with vision, purpose, and community at its heart. To Stockton Campus Dean Sarah Schweitzer and Stockton Dean of Students Amy McKinney, whose leadership will bring this building to life in service of our students and the Stockton region. May this key symbolize not just a place, but a promise that here, opportunity will grow, futures will be shaped, and together we will continue to expand, access, and transform lives. Congratulations.
Okay, everybody, I want you to say uno, dos, tres, and then we'll cut. Ready?
Uno, dos, tres.